Hi again, everyone. Scott Player Popcorn fan here, and in this video, I got the chance to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania last night with my family, and now I want to do my review for the movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is the third film in a trilogy of Ant-Man films, and it's also the first film of Phase 5 of the MCU. So naturally, it tries to start with a bang, and in most regards, I think it does a decent enough job. But at the same time, I've heard mixed reviews for the movie. I've heard bad reviews. I don't think it's a terrible movie by any means. But I also don't think it's like top tier MCU. I don't think it's that really, but it is still a decently solid film. I don't think it's bad by any means. But I will say that for those of you that really enjoyed the first two Ant-Man films, because those were more like comedies, this one might detract you a little bit, because it does have a bit more of a serious tone, especially with the villain, King the Conqueror. And for me personally, I liked the more serious tone. I loved King the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors was amazing in his role as King the Conqueror. That's easily probably the best thing about this movie for me. I loved the character, and he was basically, using his character as like the next Avengers level threat. So even though some people, would want a little bit more levity, a little bit more like comedy in an Ant-Man film, I'm kind of glad that in this one, even with Jonathan Majors' presence in the film as the main villain, they didn't, make jokes all the time. After he did something bad, they stayed in the moment. And you could tell like things were really tense between the characters, and I really liked that they didn't make like a joke or something after Jonathan Majors did something, and I'm kind of glad for that. But at the same time, I understand it. I understand people like comedy in the Ant-Man movies, and I do too. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy like the previous two movies as well, and I liked that the first two films were a lot more small scale, no pun intended, in regards to the story and what they tried to do in the previous ones. And in this one, they're setting up the next Avengers level threat, which is something that sometimes can hamper a movie in the MCU or the DCEU for that matter. Whenever they're trying to, build like the Justice League in one movie, looking at UBVS, or trying to step in a really big threat for future movies. We've seen that before in the past, and it doesn't always work out. I feel like, in this movie they did a decent enough job, but at the same time, it can be a little bit distracting. And even though I thought that the final fight between Ant-Man and Kang, I thought that was a really brutal fight. I thought they did a great job with that scene. Kind of reminded me of Spider-Man No Way Home in a way, which I'm guessing is probably why they wanted to do King the Conqueror in this movie. And also, like addressing the multiverse, and the multiverse has been teased ever since WandaVision. So it's basically like the main theme of Phase 4, 5, and 6. So that's perfectly natural. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's bad. But I will say that it can be a little wonky at times, especially with the character of MODOK. MODOK. A giant floating head. That's kind of a character that has always been seen as a little dumb, even in the comics. So the character is intentionally supposed to be a little dumb, and even as I was watching it, I definitely saw it. The character, it's hard not to look at the character and just go, really, really. That's kind of what I was thinking watching the movie and the character of MODOK. Oh my goodness, but. And I mean, the twist with the character is that, you know how movie trilogies always go back to the past, right? Movie trilogies always have like a third film that, you know, sort of goes back to the first in the trilogy, as Randy Meeks would say in the Scream movies. But yeah, and with the character of MODOK, they kind of do that. So it is interesting. And also, Bill Murray. Bill Murray is in this movie. It was nice seeing him. But what the character, you know, does kind of sort of backstabs Michelle Pfeiffer's character in a way, and sort of sets up the threat throughout the film. I thought that was rather fascinating. I loved seeing Bill Murray in this movie. He was cool. And then talking about the cast, I really enjoyed Michelle Pfeiffer. She definitely had the most to do in this movie compared to the previous films. I really liked her. She was great. And also Paul Rudd, obviously. I loved Paul Rudd. Always has so much great charisma, especially with his timing with comedy, and also his daughter, Catherine Newton, and you know, as Cassie. And I've seen her in a lot of things. Catherine Newton's definitely not a new actress to me. I've seen her before, especially in Detective Pikachu movie and Supernatural. I've seen her everywhere, and I thought she was great too. I definitely think that with her character, they're setting up the Young Avengers, you know, kind of like Kate Bishop on Hawkeye, and you know, other characters that have been introduced in the MCU. They're sort of building up to Young Avengers. Which I'm definitely going to be rather interested to see, definitely. So, also, I think the character, that weird jellyfish thing, he was voiced by David Dastmalchian, who was also in the previous two Ant-Man movies as a different character, so that was interesting. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, but also it has mixed tones. This movie has mixed tones, I will say that. Like the first half of the movie feels a little bit more like a traditional Ant-Man movie, and then like the second half of the movie is setting up Kang the Conqueror. And also, this movie has 2 post-credit scenes. Stay tuned for those. I'm not going to say what they are, but they do, like I said, setting up future stuff. So yeah, and there were pretty good post-credit scenes too. I liked them. And that's really pretty much it for this review. I really enjoyed the film. I just don't think it's a film that everyone will like, just for the sheer fact that it can be a little bit wonky at times and also has mixed tones. But also, I did really enjoy the music, and I really liked what they did with the quantum realm. Like the setting, all of it just looked very out there, I guess. Because it's a kind of a universe outside of space and time, kind of like the TVA on Loki. And it was just really cool to look at. Visually, this movie does look good, really good visually, with the setting inside the quantum realm and some of the things that they do with some of the action scenes were really cool and unique, and it looks like something out of an art book almost. So that was all rather fascinating and really cool. Yeah, so my grade for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I would probably give it maybe like a B. Yeah, I'd probably give Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania a B. That's my grade for the movie. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.